So success principle number 3 is decide what you want. And we're going to look at this again in a couple of different ways. As we saw with the Maddie Christensen thing and with my daughter Lisa, we want to focus on what it is we want, not what we don't want. Focus on our vision. So let's look at this idea of vision. Here's another cartoon. It's 2 spiders on a slide. One says to the other, if we pull this off, we'll eat like kings. Big vision, right? Big vision. So this is the way we want to think. And we're going to start big and then narrow it down a little bit. But for the purpose of this morning, a couple of other points of view on this idea. This is General Wesley Clark. It doesn't take any more effort to dream a big dream than it does to dream a small dream. Donald Trump, you can think small or you can think big. If you're thinking already, you might as well think big. Some people think he's talking about his hair, but it's actually more than that. And Walt Disney, if you can dream it, you can do it. How appropriate. Right here in Orange County, here's a guy who started with an orange grove, right? And created this amazing empire. So what I'm going to ask you to do this morning is to create what we call a breakthrough goal. And this goes to the kind of the conversation that Diana was asking the new people to share. What is your vision? What is it that you want to accomplish? And let me give you a little context around the idea of a breakthrough goal. A breakthrough goal can be a really big goal. It could also be a really small goal. But the idea is that it will break you through to that next level. It will get over whatever obstacle, whatever's in your way now, and open up all sorts of new possibilities for you. So again, it could be something big, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. We want to look beyond that goal into the possibilities on the other side. And here's a couple of examples from Jack. In 2005, he made a decision to start an organization that would be a networking group for his peers. It's called the Transformational Leadership Council. And it's a perfect example because the organization got created, the goal got fulfilled, but it's also created amazing opportunities for him and the other members of the organization. A lot of the filming for the movie The Secret actually happened at a Transformational Leadership Council meeting, and none of that would have happened if he hadn't fulfilled that vision, set that breakthrough goal. In 2006, it was to enroll 1,000 people into a new one-on-one coaching program. So again, this created all sorts of opportunities to get that first 1,000 people in there to get this coaching program up and running, and it's running really well and effectively to this day. In 2008, it was to enroll 400 people in that summer training that I told you about, that week-long workshop that I attended in 1997. And the beauty of that for our company is if we get 400 people into that training, it really takes care of the rest of our events. We have enough people that then go into our advanced training, that's the follow-up. We have enough people who raise their hand and say they want to participate in that Platinum Inner Circle program, our Train the Trainer program. If we get that initial goal of getting 400 people in the summer training, the rest of it really, Lisa, our marketing director, is here. She won't appreciate me saying this, but a lot of that takes care of itself. Not true, right, Lisa? If only it were. And then in 2010, last year, Jack's goal was to enroll 100 people in our new Train the Trainer program. And for him, this is a huge breakthrough because it's opening up the possibility of not only having him out speaking and training, but having hundreds of other people out there doing what I'm doing today, which is sharing his work in their own unique style. And then finally, this year, we're working on enrolling 8,000 members in a new online community, which is, as we all know, such an important part of staying connected to the network and really building a community. So those are some examples. So what I'm going to ask you to do, either just on a piece of paper, if you're taking notes, I actually put some 3x5 cards on the table. We have iPads, iPhones, Blackberries, whatever your capture method of choice is. But take just a minute. And this is not a lifetime decision that you can never change. But in this moment, if you had to decide today, what would your breakthrough goal be? If you accomplished it, it would break you through to that next level. I feel like we should have Jeopardy music going on. Okay. So how many of you, by show of hands, would be willing to share your breakthrough goal with the group? How many who would like to stand up? Just put your hands up high. Okay, look around the room. I'm not going to ask you to share your goal, but I do want to make a point that I remember so vividly when Jack first made it to me, because I was one of the people sitting there without my hand up. And the question is, for those of you who didn't raise your hand, why didn't you raise your hand? And again, this is a whole hour, but this is just for you to ask, and I would love to have the time to really dive into this. It's a profound insight for people, because what I just asked you to do was write down that one thing that could really make a difference for you, that could break you through. And here you are in a room full of people who would love to help you with that, and maybe 10% of the hands went up, saying, I'd be willing to share. So what I'd like to encourage you to do, now, we actually had in here that we were going to share, but we're not going to have time to do that. And what happens when we do share, and then I ask the same question, is similar to what we got from sharing the I can't, I won't. Is, oh my God, you won't believe it. The person I was talking to can actually help me. And they had ideas for how I could do it even better. And they're working on something similar to what I'm working on. Can you imagine that? Right? But we're not willing to share in a lot of cases. So I leave that with you, again, for those of you who didn't raise your hand, as a really important point. Be willing to share your vision, share your goals, because what happens when we share? People can help us, right? And especially in a group like this. So one of the things Jack did, actually I'll go back, he, with the Chicken Soup books, wrote on the back of a business card, he and Mark both signed it. It was one of their early goals of selling only 8 million books. And of course they accomplished that and much, much more. So once we've taken responsibility, we get this clear vision, now we start using some of the tools that are outlined in the Success Principles book. And the first one is the power of visualization. A couple of examples in here of the way people use visualization. If you want a new car, what we want to do is really get a clear picture in your mind of what it is you want. This next slide is one that I love. Here's a guy who actually had a picture taken, went to a billboard company, had it made so he could put it on his garage door. So he actually sees his dream car in his garage when the garage door is down. That's the type of thing we're thinking of. Here's a vision board. You're all comfortable, familiar with the concept of vision boards? I love Jack, when we got our new software template, he said, you know, you want to go beyond that part that looks like a ransom note. This is one of those kind of ransom note kind of ones. But here's a woman who wasn't even in a relationship and set a goal, set a vision that she wanted to be on her honeymoon in Greece. And I don't remember the specific time frame, but there she is on her honeymoon in Greece.